Hi, it's Lily and
Mia, and today we're going to be talking about animal testing, or better known as animal cruelty,
yeah,
and the effects, the solutions, the problem, and much more.
yes. So before we get into it, we just wanted to give you a correct kind of definition of what animal testing really is and what it means.
So, the correct definition of animal testing would be animal testing, also known as an experimentation, animal research, and in vivo testing, is the use of non human animals, such as model organisms, in experiments that seek to control the variables that affect the behavior or biological systems under study.
Yeah. So basically summarizing as animals going through a series of chemical tests done on them um, throughout their body and
And just how it truly affects an animal. So, me and Lily, our whole solution is to try and help and spread awareness to this huge problem that is honestly just hurting innocent animals and isn't giving them the freedom that they need.
yeah. So like Mia said, there is nothing that we can personally do to stop animal testing, just helping out students at Glenbard West with knowing what products they should be buying and what's good for them, and just some of the benefits that come with buying cruelty free tested products. Now, so why is this a problem?
This is a problem because big corporations do not want to spend the money that it costs to do better and safer alternatives for animal testing.
Yeah. So these like big companies have to spend a lot of money on products to be cruelty free. So something like this might be bothering them, and they might say getting it tested on animals is a better alternative. And
And just and these big companies just do this to want to benefit the
making money
from making money and from
and thinking that if it's animal tested on, these people who are buying their products have a better conscience of knowing that it will not hurt them. When in reality, yes, it may not hurt us, but we are nothing like animals. And yeah, sure, we have some type of similarities and we're all mammals, but we're we don't have hair like them. Our bodies are we're completely different. So really testing products on animals to say that they are a safe product for people to use is not good.
yeah, and honestly, these companies are just beneficiating from what they are hurting the animals of because these poor animals, they do not deserve this kind of treatment. Honestly, it is horrible, horrific, and is honestly a huge problem, which also helps us lead into our next question, which is what effects does animal testing have on the animals?
That's actually a really good question, Mia. So, the effects that animal cruelty has on animals is the abundant amount of stress and pressure these animals are enduring through these practices. And it's violating their rights. So, performing these experiments on them causes their bodies to endure high levels of anxiety, which they're not accustomed to, and causes them to develop inflammatory conditions and sometimes even intestinal leakage.
Wow, that is honestly very insane because I know that I really care about these animals, and to hear that they're going through such horrible suffering and to be going through so much pain, I can't imagine. I also know that animals, they are being put through horrible tests, obviously,
Yeah.
that really truly affect them, possibly how they think, how they feel, how they just go on about life because they don't know anything other than this horrible, horrific life that they have.
Yeah.
So, to add on to that, Lily, I know you interviewed Mr. Brock, which is the consumer management teacher here at Glenbard West.
Yes.
So, I just want to ask you, how would a company benefit from being cruelty free?
So basically, Mr. Brock, while I was asking him this question, he said, to summarize what he said that a company initially benefits from being cruelty free because people have just like have a better time sleeping at night, and they know that that company is safe and does not have a history of abuse, and they know that their conscience is clean.
Yeah, honestly, that makes a lot of sense because I know me personally as a consumer, if I know a company is cruelty free, that I will want to purchase their goods because I know that they're doing something right and I know that their heart is in a good place, knowing that they're not doing anything bad to these animals and that they have clean products that are not being played with and tested on animals and instead are being used by proper care of scientists that know how to do this. For example, by like organs on a chip because they offer a safer and easier alternative than animal testing, you know?
Yeah, and we've actually found that out that more scientific research is more credible and actually a better type of alternative rather than animal testing because it gives us the exact result of what it could potentially do to the human and how it could harm them. So with these alternatives that we are being provided, with scientists and labs, it's actually, I feel, a better alternative rather than animal testing. And animal testing does not need to be even in the question anymore.
Yeah, I feel like animal testing is a huge problem that is being super normalized around all these countries, beauty companies and companies, even like companies that are used for household items like toothpaste or even laundry detergent, or also like the thing that cleans your floors, any of those soaps are being tested on animals, which obviously sucks that you don't want to be using those products that are unethical, you know?
Yeah.
All right, I want to get back into a bigger picture. Lily, why do you think that animal testing isn't a huge issue that is being radically talked about on a lot of media outlets and stuff like that? Because I personally know that it's a big issue. You know that it's a big issue.
Yeah.
But why don't you think it's more publicly known to an audience? I personally want to start first because I believe that the issue that this huge problem is being ignored is because these companies try to hide it. I know that there's this huge thing with fake logos of the bunny that is called PETA, and it's supposed to represent that a product is cruelty-free, clean, and safe, but many companies try to copy it, paste it on their product, and promote that it is cruelty-free when it really isn't.
Yeah. Actually, my teacher, Mr. Brock, my consumers management teacher, he actually recommended PETA to me while I was interviewing him and said he knows that PETA is a very good company and has safe products for people, and they stand up for animals. Now, just knowing that this one consumer, right, so person that buys products that are cruelty-free, knows PETA, so many other people should know about it too, because I feel like it's something that's not talked about as often as other products are, and people don't even know if they're animal tested on or not.
Yeah, like these huge companies and these big organizations that are set to help animals and to help them be as free as possible aren't being talked about. They're kind of being shoved somewhere else in the dark instead of the light, where they should be talking about this huge problem. And yeah, honestly, that's what I believe. I think companies are just trying to hide the fact that they're not cruelty free, and that it's obviously a huge problem. And even they know that.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and animal testing might not be so publicly known because for the broad audience, for actually a lot of reasons. And I think one of them that is the strongest is that there's two very strong opinions on this. So there's both sides to this issue, and it's really hard to get to that neutral, part and really get to a solution where everybody can be happy.
So yeah, honestly, I feel like that kind of concludes what we have to say. And
I'm just trying to give you guys little insight about what animal testing is, and just to be careful and really look at your products and, make sure that they are cruelty free.
Yeah, all we want to do, the reason we made this podcast episode today, is to just spread awareness on this problem that is animal testing, because it's unethical, horrific, and more. So, if everyone could please go and check their products, make sure that they are cruelty-free, make sure that they are not being used and tested on poor animals. That would honestly help us complete our goal of spreading awareness.
Yeah, just something like this that's so simple, just checking if your products are cruelty-free can actually help out a lot with the community and trying to lower the rates of animal cruelty, because it's something that is truly a big problem in this society, and I feel people should hear more about it and do more about it.
I agree. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. It truly was an honor. Thank you for having us, and go West.